Hello guys. Hello guys. Welcome to our new video session of Advanced Computer Architecture. Today's topic is Bernstein's condition for determining the maximum parallelism. Myself Soumik Sarkar and let's start the topic. The conditions of Bernstein's for parallelism. In 1966, Bernstein revealed a set of conditions based on which two processes can execute in parallel. Now consider if S1 and S2, they are the two statements which for S1 O1 is the output and I1 is the input and process called P1, and for S2 O2 is the output, I2 is the input and P2 is the process. For these two processes P1 and P2 can executed in parallel and referred or denoted as P1 parallel P2 if they are independent and therefore create deterministic results. Formally, these conditions are stated as follows: I1 intersection O2 equal to null, I2 intersection O1 equal to null, I1 intersection O2 equal to null. In here we can explain that with S1 for S1 and S2, I1 intersection O2 means the input set of S1 and the output set of S2 should not common or their intersection should be null. And for the second condition, I2 intersection O1, that means the input set of S2 and the output set of S1 should be null, their intersection should be null. And for O2 O1 intersection O2 equal to null, that means the output of both S1 and S2 not common or their intersection should be null. That means the first condition follows the anti-independent or no anti-dependence. The second condition follows no flow dependent, and the third condition follows no output dependent. Well, these things, anti-dependent, flow dependent and output dependence, these topics will be covered in the data dependency video or lecture. So in terms of data dependencies, Bernstein's condition simply implies that two processes can execute parallel. Two processes can execute parallel if they are flow independent, anti-independent and output independent. If a set of process P1, P2, P3 Pk can execute parallel if Bernstein's conditions are satisfied on a pairwise basis, that is P1 parallel P2, P2 parallel P3, P3 parallel P4, Pm parallel Pn, where m equal to n minus 1. So we write P1 parallel P2 parallel P3 parallel P4 parallel Pn. If and only if Pi parallel Pj, where I not for all I not equal to j. We have to be remember one thing, that violation of any one or more of the three conditions prohibits the parallelism between two processes. Now, detecting of parallelism in program using Bernstein's condition. We have an example here. Consider the simple case of in which each process is a single HLL statement. Consider the simple case in which case process is single HLL statement. That means they are in single high level language statements. We want to detect the parallelism embedded in the following 5 statements labeled as P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 in the program order. And we have to assume that each statement required one step to execute and two adders are available for execution of their 5 statements. The first statement P1 is C equal to D into E. Second statement P2 is M equal to G plus C. Third statement A equal to B plus C. Fourth statement P4 C equal to L plus M. And P5 fifth statement F equal to G divide E. Now we are going to the solution. That we have created a table of statement I1 and IOI. Statement we have collected all the statements P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 and their inputs as I. For P1 DE input, for P2 GC input, like that we have right here in PR wise, and we have write the outputs in a column wise, that like for the output of P1 C, for the output of P2 is AM, like that way. Now applying Bernstein's condition to all the statements. There are 5C2 equal to 10 possible conditions. Here we have to compare P1 with P2 and P2 with P3, P3 with P4 and P4 with P5. So we have to compare all of them, each pair wise. That means we can take only 2 at a time. So for that we can take only 2 at a time within these 5 statements. So for that we have done the 5C2 for equal to 10 possible conditions we have to check. For first condition checking P1 and P2. For P1 and P2 let's check P1 and P2. For P1 P2 check the first condition of Bernstein's, that I1 intersection O2 equal to null. That means here the I1 input set of P1 and the output set of P2 is there is no common, so their intersection should be null, so that's satisfied. But for the second condition I2 intersection O1, that means the I2 means the input set of P2 and the output set of P1 and their intersection should not be null for here, because the C is common both. For that they are not parallel, and we have learned that if the three conditions and any one of them false, came false, so that would not be parallel, but that statements would not be executed in parallel way. For P1 now check P1 and P3. For P1 and P3 we can let's check the first condition, that DE is the input set of P1 and BC is the input set of P3. So let's check the input set of P1 and output set output set of P3. So they are not common. Okay, that's right. For P3 input set and the output set, here is a common in that C again, so they are not parallel. So P1 is not parallel to P3. Now we check the statement P1 and P2. We have already checked P1 and P2 that they are not parallel. P1 and P3 they are not parallel. Now we check P1 and P4. For P1 and P4 we get the first two conditions as true, that the input set of P1 and output set of P4 are different. P4 the input set of P4 and the output set of P1 are different, but here the case, the third condition, the output set of P1 and P4 both are common, means there are no their intersection is not equal to null. So for that P1 and P4 are not parallel. For P1 and P5 we can check here the first condition, the input set of P1 and output set of P5 is not common. The input set of P5 and output set of P1, there is no common things, and for the output set of P1 and output set of P5, they are also not common. So for that it follows all the rules of Bernstein's. So we can consider that P1 parallel P5. Similarly, we can check that P2 and P3 are parallel because all conditions are true. P2 and P4 are not parallel because I2 intersection O4 is not null. It's not null. For P2 and P5, here they are parallel. All conditions are true. For P3 and P4, they are also not parallel because I3 intersection O4 is not null. For P3 and P5, P3 and P5 is parallel because all conditions are true for this, and for P4 and P5, P4 parallel P5, all conditions are true. We can see here also that both for all the cases P5's input and output set elements are different from all other element of P1, P2, P3 and P5. For all the cases when you check P1 with P5, P2 with P5, P3 with P5 and P4 with P5, they are all parallel with P5. Now we conclude that from this checking of Bernstein's condition that P1 is parallel with P5, P2 is parallel to P3, P2 is parallel with P5, P3 is parallel with P5 and P4 is parallel with P5. That I have told just before. These 5 pairs can execute in parallel if there are no resource conflicts. So here resource conflict means the statement P1, P2, P3 and P4 can't use the same file location, suppose S, at a time, and also it means that that's the statement that performs the if P2 performs plus, P3 perform plus and P1 also perform plus, so they cannot use the addition operation at a time. So here we get from the Bernstein's condition that P2 is parallel with P3 and P3 is parallel with P5. So we can write that P2 is parallel with P3 and parallel with P5, and we have to draw a diagram for the parallelism. So in the diagram we can see that P2 is parallel with P3 with parallel with P5. So they can execute in parallel, that we have earlier seen in the condition checking of Bernstein's. So here P1, for P1 statement we have the multiplication, and for P2 statement we have one addition, for P3 statement we have another addition, and for P4 statement we have another addition, and for the P5 we have division. Though we have two adders, so we can execute P2 and P3 parallelly. This is the adder 1 and this is the adder 2, and for P4 the same adder will occupy that place to execute the statement P4. Now for P1 it gets D and E and perform the multiplication process and generates the output C, and that C output is used as input in P2 and P3. So we divide it into two parts, and For P3 it gets B and perform the addition and we get the output A. And for P2 it gets the C from P1 and G and it performs the addition with the help of another adder and we get the output M. And the M is used as the input of P4. So so P4 gets M and L and perform the addition and it gets the result C. Though this C and this C are different and they use the same storage location at different time, so there is no resource conflict. And for P5 this operation is totally different and the inputs are also different, so it get G and E and divides and generates the output F. If we perform these same operations in linear way, so we can see this diagram. It's look like this, that the P1 gets D and E, performs the multiplication and get the output C. For P2 it's perform the first addition with the help of C and G. For P3 it's performs the another addition but it gets the C from P1 and then it gets B and then it's performed and it generates the output A. And this way the all process are going to be happen in linear way. So here we can count the step, in how many steps the performs are going. So this is the first step, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, this is the fifth. So here we can see that all performs required one step. So in linear way or sequential way of execution, it's happened in 5 steps, assuming one step per statement. But in parallel way we can see that the 3 operations can happen in one step. Though it is our second step, it is the first step and it is the third step. So in parallel execution in 3 steps happen, and assuming 2 adders are available per step. So we can conclude from the Bernstein's condition for checking the parallelism that we can perform the execution in parallel way if the bunch of statement can satisfy this all Bernstein's conditions. And for that the execution time in parallel way is much more less than the sequential way. Thank you for watching my video. This is for the day. Please like and share this video with your friends so they can clear their doubt, and please subscribe my channel to notify and get more informative videos like this. Thank you very much.